So welcome to all, and let's begin the today's question. So question number 1 for today is, the business determines that the project you are managing must be based on a plan-driven project management approach. This is partially due to the SMART objectives the steering committee has set for the project. In the acronym SMART, what does A stand for? So look, for my new students like Mr. Bukhari and Mr. Aisha, that's what we were discussing yesterday, that if you will answer for this part of the question, your answer will always be long. Question always lies in the end, and you have to answer accordingly. So based upon this situation, what should be the answer? Answer on the chat window, please. Mr. Naman said this. It's correct. In SMART, what is A stand for? Wait, yes, good. Stands for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for in a time bound thing, that you should have a timeline. It can be achieved in this time zone, in this time, 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 months, 3 months. So SMART stands for smart, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So answer is, those who have answered C, yes, your answer is correct, because this is what? Achievable. It's not adjusted, accepted, or awesome. Great. Let's go next. I didn't get your answer, Mr. Bukhari. What happened? You are not answering? Every one of you have to be answer the question, because the more you will answer, the more the collaboration and contribution is. The organization is exploring a new project where there are many unknowns, and most of the work to be done is designing software to build the best solution in collaboration with the other keyword is collaboration. Which project management approach is best suited for this project? Two keywords, you already have it, unknown and collaboration. And the best answer, even if you don't look at the option, you should already have it. Exactly. That's great. Ms. Aisha, Mr. Naveed, and Mr. Naman, and Mr. Bukhari. Good. Very nice. If you guys remember, I gave you another elimination technique, and that was, if you have similar answer, they can never be the right answer. You guys remember that point? If you have similar answers, they can never be the right answers. So waterfall, phased, and plan driven is the same thing in different names. Waterfall is also predictive, phased is also predictive, and plan driven is also predictive. So if you have two same answers, they can never be the right answer. It's very, like, you can make it as a ground rule. It's not going to happen. It will help you to eliminate the answers easily. So unknown and collaboration is Agile. Next question. You inform the sponsor that the project management plan will continuously increase. When I read this, will continuously increase, if even I remove every option, in the level of detail as the project moves forward in project management. What is this process known as? When the things are increasing as the time is appearing, what we call it? I will not even show you the option. And you have to type the option on the chat window. Yes, Naman, good. Usman, no. There's a better word for this. You're right. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but there's a better word for this. We have 10 people sitting here, but I just got one answer. How is it possible? When the things are continuously increasing or improving as the project moves forward, what is this thing called as? Forget the word process. What is this thing called as? Ganesh, yes, very good. So far, Ganesh and Naman have been successful in answering this point. Okay, I can give you two options. We have some more students who are still thinking what I'm trying to ask. There are two things we call it progressive elaboration and rolling wave planning. So this statement is explaining about progressive elaboration or rolling wave planning. Now you guys got better. Yes. So rolling wave planning is high level or progressive elaboration is high level? Okay, let me change my question. When we create WBS, we do the rolling wave planning or we do the progressive elaboration? When we create the WBS, yes, Ganesh, you are correct. When we create the WBS, we use rolling wave planning. And as the time passes by, we use progressive elaboration. And I think you will not understand like this, right? I need to demonstrate. So progressive elaboration is, for example, uh, like normally the service sector projects are uncertain. So if I say I need to make a website, so everyone knows to make a website, you need to have a domain name like abc.com. You need to have hosting where you can upload your website. You need to have an integration with the e-commerce for suppose. So here it is the domain name, and here is the hosting, and here is the e-commerce. So what we have created, and then in domain we have what we have to research which one is better. We have to find the specs. Then we need to issue the purchase order or after the thing and so on. We will get it. So the normal steps which are known to us, we call it, we are doing it on rolling wave planning. The basic functionality is what you know, what is possible now. When the time passes by, so now you need to know about the activities. So that is called as progressive elaboration. Maybe you can add another work package, or there could be a planning package. And what was the planning package? That you know the name only, but you don't know the details. So here you will use progressive elaboration. I hope all of you got the clear message, what I was trying to deliver. WBS is rolling wave plan. Progressive elaboration is after rolling wave planning when the work advances and the thing goes in detail. Got the point? Your mics are not working, but at least you can see in the chat. So I hope things become clear. Let's go back to the slide where we left. Okay. I think we already found the answer. Scope creep, resource planning, life cycle, and our option is progressive elaboration. And we all agree. Easy. Let's go next. You are working on a project that is part of a program. All the projects within this program are being managed in an agile way. What is a good technique to get the project teams aligned? Hold one daily stand-up meeting for all the project. Just tell me, is it possible? Don't run for the answers. First eliminate it. It's not possible to have daily stand-up meeting. It's not possible to hold daily stand-up meeting for everyone. Assign one customer point of contact for all projects. I gave you a trick to eliminate. What is the trick? I'm enabling your mic so you can speak. I think you guys are feeling difficult while answering my questions. Do not answer the question directly. Please do not answer the question. There is much better thing than answering the questions. Answering the question is maybe you know the answer, maybe you are making the guess. Don't do that. First, find me the word. What I said, if it is there, it cannot be the answer. In A and B. You can use the mic. Exactly, Naman. Who else know that what are the keywords? If they are there, they can never be the right answer.
All.
Okay, what about others? I need an answer from all of you. So you should know that there is something. Mr. Shabir, what do you think? What is the keyword in A and B which makes them wrong? Or on those basis, we can eliminate those points.
All projects.
The word all. If anything contains all, they can never be the right answer of any right question. Okay. They can never be the right answer of any right question. Develop one project management plan. It has nothing to do, right? It's impossible that you will make one project management plan for all the projects, isn't it? It's impossible. It's has no connection in the real world. So these things will never happen in the real world, that you will have single thing for all the things. So that's why A, B, C are wrong. And the best answer is conduct a scrum of scrums, because every team will have a scrum master. And above all those scrum masters, we have one scrum of scrums. Okay, great. Your answer was correct. Daily scrum meeting happens on daily basis. But scrum of scrum meetings happen when?
Once in a week.
Scrum of scrum happens once in a week. And if it is scrum of scrum,
So daily.
you're not enjoying, not concentrating also. Is daily stand-up meeting? Daily. When it is multiple, so we will have scrum of scrum, so it will be weekly. If there are multiple scrum of scrums, So there will be a scrum of scrum of scrum. Their meeting will be bi-weekly or after 2 weeks. Then there could be another SOS, or you can segregate it and we call it Chief Scrum Master. Chief Scrum Master for Module 1, Chief Scrum Master for Module 2, Chief Scrum Master for Module 3, Chief Scrum Master for Module 4. So then they will have the meeting of, let's say, about every month. So this is the hierarchy. Okay. This is the hierarchy. The more you will go up, the more the time will be doubled. Clear? I hope it should be clear now. Okay. Let's, no concept, no conflict. Convinced? In Naman, in Agile, there is nothing called hard and fast rule. Agile says adapt according to the situation. Agile also says, like the discipline Agile, which is the new one, they also say, if you don't think so, you need daily stand-up meeting on daily, no problem, don't do it on daily. Do after one another day. So Agile doesn't say that follow the rule, because what is the Agile manifesto? People and processes. People are more important than processes. And working software is more important than writing the things or doing the processing thing. Next, the product owner is on vacation. A decision must be made on change. What should the team reference to determine next step? Next steps. Charter, change management plan, timeline, or configuration management plan. What do you need to reference? Mr. Shabir, yes. Ms. Aisha, no. Whenever you want to make changes, we define some criteria that in which conditions changes can be done. If he's not available, what you will do. This is mentioned in all change management plan. Change management plan has the guideline, what can be done in what situations. So that's when you will be establishing your governance for the project via project management plan. So change management plan will help you to understand it, that if he's not there, what will be our next course of action. Anyone can give me the detail why the answer is not configuration management plan? Someone of you have already answered configuration management. Why it cannot be the configuration management? There is a very minor difference. Why it cannot be the thing? No. More easier than this, Ganesh. Shabir, yes, very nice. This is what project. So when it is project, it will be change management plan. But if I change this word with the product, so it will become configuration management plan. Configuration management plan is used for the product. Change management plan is used for the project. Can you remember that? Product, configuration. Project, change. There's a huge silence. I don't know why. Even though you guys have the ability to unmute yourself. Okay. Next question. Integrating the project management plan. What is a primary component? Output of the planning process, when the product will be phased out, when the project will be chartered, or administrative duties of the project manager. I think again, it's a basic answer. Gopal, yes, good. Miss Asha, you very nice. Shabir, no. Shabir, what you have selected, it's the first activity and this is prepared after that. Ganesh, yes. Product phase out has nothing to do with this option. So it's totally wrong. Project charter is done before the project management plan, isn't it? And administrative duties of the project manager has nothing to do with it. Who performs the administrative duties of project manager? Who performs the administrative duties of project manager?
PMO.
Exactly. This cannot be the answer anyway. So the remaining answer is A. Convinced with the explanation? So output of the planning process was the answer. Majority of you have already answered it correct. Okay. Now we have a big question. A team member who is new to organization and working on project has several questions. He asks the PM to meet with him to discuss these items so he can understand the planning process. PM is delighted that his new team member is taking so much interest. Team member asks if we must complete the software code before we can create the user manual. What type of dependency? I think this is the question. If you look at the upper part, they just wasted your time. And must means, you know which one is the must one. Mandatory dependency, right? And mandatory dependency is, answer on the chat is coming. Yes, it's correct. So far, there are five answers. One is correct, incorrect. Navid, how come? Navid, look, must word is there. Must. Must is what? Mandatory dependency. Come on, Shabir, you cannot make this mistake also. Must means mandatory dependency. Exactly. And mandatory dependency is what? Mandatory dependency is what? Finish to start. Focus, guys, focus. When you will finish, then you can start next. You must complete the software code, then you can create the manual. So that is called as finish to start dependency. Great. All of you got it? Let's move forward. Next question. Which of the following is the correct definition of the critical path? Majority of you have the same thing. Critical path is the fastest path, shortest path, earliest path, or longest path. But you have to read all because there are confusing words. Let's read it. The critical path is the fastest path through the network diagram, which represent the longest time. There is nothing called fastest, right? There is nothing called fastest in the critical path. So it cannot be the answer. The critical path is the shortest path through the network diagram, which represent the longest time. No. I think it was the vice versa, right? Longest path in shortest possible duration. This is the definition of critical path, right? Longest path in shortest time duration. Am I correct? So similarly, we have what? The critical path is the longest path through the network diagram, which represent the shortest time in which the project can be completed. So yes, D is the right answer. Okay. So far, so good. These questions we left it from the last class. So let's do the other questions. The project team does not feel confident that they can complete the work for the next set of deliverable of the project and would rather spend more time exploring deliverables expected many months down the line. What can a project manager do to get the team focused on the near term deliverable? Change the scope of the deliverable. Can project manager change anything by himself? Please do not just focus on the answers. Yes, stay with me on the answers. He cannot do anything by himself. So it cannot be the answer. Group the near-term deliverables into one deliverable. Create a sense of urgency or make one person accountable. Make one person accountable for the deliverables. Is it possible?
No, he's the accountable one.
So it is also not possible. So remaining two. Group the near-term deliverables into one deliverable or create a sense of urgency. Exactly. Now you guys are coming on the right path. You think create a sense of urgency is better answer? Look, B cannot be the answer, right? We agree that B cannot be the answer. Now we need to choose from A and C. What is the problem in the question? What is the problem in the question? Urgency is the problem or scope is the problem? If you find the reason, you will find the answer. Let's read it again. The project team does not feel confident that they can complete the work for the next set of deliverables of the project. They cannot complete the work for the next set of deliverables of the project and will spend more time exploring deliverables expected many months down the line. What you need to do? You need to bring the focus on the near-term deliverables. I will keep confusing you and you will keep becoming confused. But whatever I should confuse you, you must stick to your answers firmly. The problem, this is 100% clear that he can never change the scope of the project without the approval, right? To change the scope of the deliverable, you need what? A change request. And you cannot just produce a change request and you cannot change the scope. Like if you are the customer and I am the seller, can I add something by myself which you don't need it? Impossible, right? It will become what? Gold plating or scope creep, isn't it? So it's not allowed. So in that context, yes, C is the right answer. Create a
Mr.
sense of
Imran,
hearts. Yes,
uh,
boss.
as we have decided, as we have seen, we got the hint that B and C cannot be the answer because project manager cannot decide. So in the same way,
B
he
and
cannot
D.
change. Yeah, B and D. In the same way, he cannot change the scope by himself.
Yes, that's
So
what I'm
this
saying.
this
A cannot be the answer.
yeah okay. Then
C is the
you
answer. I
I
was
understand.
playing with you guys. That
Yes, sir, this is what I was saying.
that let
So
me
this
think that you guys, sometimes just people type the answer. I think like this. It's not about thing. You must, what I keep saying in all the question sessions, you must be damn sure. Hanas, this is the right answer. That's it. I know and I have calculated. You must be that strong when you are sitting in exam. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, whether you think that in exam you are feeling very nervous, I don't care whatever you are feeling. You must be feeling confident that you have eliminated based upon the right keywords. So once you are confirmed that you have eliminated the right one, you can never make a mistakes. So that's why I said it's not correct to choose the answer directly. Yes, it's a good practice. Mark it that yes, I think it's the right answer. But go and eliminate other answers also. Maybe there could be a better answer there. Let's go next. The business is unclear on the direction and when features are to be expected for an agile managed project. What artifact help communicate the goals? This is the answer. If I hide all the answers, you know the answer. What is the artifact of the project which communicate the goals? Which contains the goals, milestones, potential deliverables, releases, or work outputs? What is the name of that document?
Charter.
What is it?
Is it project charter?
No, 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 no. It's about features. There's another keyword, features. Yes, Mr. Shabir, you are correct. Okay, you can choose from here. Look, if you will be thinking from the first point, if you are thinking for the first point, your answer will be requirements documentation. Is it requirements documentation? If I change this word when to what, if I change this word of when to what, the answer will be 100% requirement documentation. But because of when, answer will be
Configuration management plan.
roadmap, guys, roadmap. Storyboarding, we call it storyboarding, story map, product roadmap. So because when you are expecting, you will say that I will tell you the initial release plan. You will get release 1 by the end of month 1. You will get the release 2 by the end of month 2, and so on. This will be defined in the product roadmap. So the look, what is the minor difference here? As I said, if it is written when, so it will be the roadmap. If it is written what, it will be the requirements documentation. If it is written that how, if it is written how, it will be configuration management plan. And if it is written high level, it will be charter. You guys got the point? Or you want me to repeat it?
Repeat, please.
Okay. If it is written when means you want to know the timeline. So timeline is defined in roadmap. Agreed?
Yes.
If it is written what features, so features are always mentioned in the requirement traceability matrix, right? Or requirements documentation. Agree? If I say what, if the word is what features are to be expected, then it will be the requirement documentation. Got the point?
Yes.
If it says what high level features are to be expected, then the answer will be charter. If I replace the word when with how, that how features are to be expected to change, then it will be the configuration management plan. So for each option, you should have a very solid reason to eliminate it. So you can learn things faster, and whatever you learn, it's concrete. There is no plus minus, you know everything. So in one question, you got 4 answers, correct? So that's how we learn to play. That how it, like, okay, you selected this answer, but now think, if this could be the right answer, then what could be the question? Go vice versa. So it will help you to analyze the answer and question more carefully and in more speed than others, because you know the sequence. And for sure, it will come by time. You guys have finished the class yesterday only, like Ms. Aisha and Mr. Bukhari. So yeah, it will come by time. It's not like I'm doing so easy. For sure, it will take some time, but that is what I am giving you my knowledge. Next, the business is anxious to get a portion of the project creations out into the marketplace to get end user feedback before the entire product is finished. What must the project team establish for their release to end user? Sprint cycle, velocity, transition plan, or minimum viable product? And I think answer is quite easy now, right? Before launching the product into the market, you need to get the feedback. So yes, you guys are going great. All of your answers are correct so far. What about others who have not answered yet? So far, all are correct. Velocity and sprint cycle has nothing to do with the feedback, right? Velocity and sprint cycle is about the speed of the task. Question has something to do with the speed of the task. You guys have mic. I don't know. You don't. Or you forgot how to use mic. Transition plan has nothing to do with it. It's minimum viable product. So all of you are correct. Now let me throw another counter question. If what could be written in the question? What could be written in the question that the answer could become minimum business increment? What the question would be, then the answer will be minimum business increment, MBI. What I have to add in the question, so answer will be the minimum business increment. You can use mic if you don't want to use chat. What the question would be like, then the answer will become minimum business increment. Ganesh,
Yeah. Okay.
what you will write in the question, so answer will be minimum business increment.
Life cycle approach or
What you will add in this line, so the answer will be minimum business increment. Minimum viable product has no functionality, right? Or it's manual functionality. Minimum business increment have what? Some functionality. Naman, if you will write delivered as full, so full cannot be it. It can be the predictive one then. And minimum business increment is like the smaller chunk of the work, which can start giving the functionality. And based upon that functionality, you will get more parts or more feedback. Plus, you also start getting the money. Like for example, that you can add a little functionality for the user to pay by credit card. So this is what minimum basis increment. Then in the next iteration, you can launch the installment program that people can pay you in installments. So it's what added functionality. But return on investment has already started when people started paying on the credit card. Or imagine if I go back, you don't have credit card. So you can put down the bank details that anyone who's trying to pay me, it can be make me the bank transfer, because we are working to update the credit card thing and so on. So whatever the thing is, so the answer will be minimum business increment, that you updated a functionality. People are there, they can look at your product, they can order your product, but for the payment, you have to pay by bank transfer or something and send up the receipt by email. At least the work will start, right? At least the people will start interacting instead of just keep sitting. You guys convinced with the explanation, or you did not understand anything? No, yes, no, no, what happened? Okay, let's go to the next question. A list of stakeholders who will receive communications about the project will appear in which of the following document? Who will receive what information is written in? Exactly, Usman and Ganesh. What about others? Yes, Naveed, good. Ms. Asha, who needs what information, how and when? Answer is communication management plan. Because a stakeholder register is what? Who are the stakeholders or who are connected to the project? You will do the communication requirement analysis on a stakeholder register. True or not? What happened? You guys are not sitting here. I don't think so that you guys are sitting here and focusing what I'm saying. I think you guys are watching TV or maybe something and looking at a screen. If I take the name of someone, something is happening. Something is not right. Sitting here and not answering doesn't make a sense. If you are here and you are sitting and doing something, so answer it. Who will tell me the sequence?
Stakeholder register.
Then?
This is the first one. The second one, and requirement.
Second one will be the communication requirement analysis, and third one will be the communication management plan. Correct?
Yes.
Great. Very nice. Thank you, Mr. Bukhari. You are the star of the day today. Only you are the person who is using the mic. Which of the following is not a component of the communication management plan? To make the communication management plan, for sure you need the stakeholder register, right?
Yes.
Or not? To make the communication management plan, you need a stakeholder register. But is it a component of communication management plan?
No.
No, it's an input, not a component. What we write in the communication management plan, who is the sender and the initiator and receiver of information, how the collection and transfer of knowledge, and the frequency of each communication. They are the part of communication management plan. But a stakeholder register is input to this document. Got the point? Stakeholder register is input. It's not a component of the communication management plan.
Okay.
This collect and transfer of institution knowledge that is the part of the lesson learned.
OPA,
method.
yes. How the lesson
Okay.
will be transferred and uploaded. You know, there is a process in integration, what we call it, manage project knowledge, and we create a lesson learned register, right?
Yes.
So that is what explaining that how the lesson learned will be created, curated. If you read the definition of this process, manage project knowledge, it says how the lesson learned will be collected, created, curated, and updated in the OPA. This is a pure definition of managed project knowledge. Great, let's go next. After integrating the communications management plan into overall project plan, what will be the next logical step? Determining where there will be changes to the proposed technology before the project is over. Creating a schedule for the production of each type of communication. Creating a description of a stakeholder communication requirement, or distributing the plan to all the stakeholders. Ganesh, yes. Yes, Aisha, yes, very nice, good. One, yes, good. This is all done in communication management plan. This is all done in communication management plan. When it's done, then you will distribute it to the stakeholders. So they can easily understand what type of information they are supposed to get, how and when. And once they will look at it, they will say, okay, no, I don't need weekly, I need monthly, or do not send me the report only until there is a situation. So that is what the answer, distributing the plan to all stakeholders. Which one of these is a risk? And risk is what? Let's identify. We have determined that our schedule is not going to meet the required deadline. We think it is possible there will be a sale on parts and we could spend less money than we originally thought. There are not enough resources to complete the work on time. The change in the prime rate has caused our funding source to be unable to provide the money we need in the upcoming project. Risk is in the future or in the present?
Future.
Future.
So answer is
D.
D.
B, right? We think it is possible there will be a sale on part. It has not happened. The thing which has not happened is actually the risk. If you look in D, it has already happened because this is what has caused. This is past. This is present. And this is also present perfect. So present can never be the risk. Future will be the risk. If you guys are confused with this, that future projects or project phases, but something has already happened. Here, still we are thinking it has happened or not, or it will happen or not. So B is the answer. Convinced or not?
Yes.
Sorry, B or D?
B. Will be.
Okay.
So these are the past or present. 8. Which of the following is a good example of mitigating the probability of the risk of becoming overcome with smoke on a project? Which of the following is a good example of mitigating the probability of the risk of becoming overcome with smoke on a project? Install smoke detectors, install fireproof components, hire another company to do the part, and keep the phone number of the fire department handy. Naveed, yes. Naveed, this is your part, right? That's what you do a lot. Osman, yes. What about others? Ganesh, yes, good. Shabbi, okay, it's not, but you have to tell me then what is this? What about others who have not answered? You are trying to reduce the chance, right? Mitigating, reducing the probability. Yes, Ms. Aisha, correct. Motion, yes. Bukhari is good. Installing the smoke detector. Installing the smoke detector is what? Mitigate. What is C? Hire another company. What is the risk strategy they are doing here?
Subcontracting.
What we call it?
Transfer.
Transfer or share? I taught you that the difference between transfer and share is, in transfer we pay money. In transfer we pay additional money. In share, because we didn't know or we want to share the risk between two parties, that's why we want to do it. So this is share or transfer?
This is transfer, we are hiring.
Always remember, in transfer you will always find a word called insurance. Okay, if you find the word insurance, then it will be transfer. Here you are sharing. Here you are sharing. It's not transfer. In transfer, the definition is by paying some premium. If you read the definition of transfer, it says by paying some premium, you transfer the ownership. Listen carefully what I'm saying. By paying some premium, you transfer the ownership of the risk to a third party. So this C match with the same thing what I said. Does it match it? No, it does not. It matches with the share. And D, what is D?
It's not a mitigation also.
No action. What is that plan? No action is what?
Avoid.
No action. In avoid, we change the plan.
Accept.
Accept.
Yeah.
And this one is passive accept or active accept?
Active.
This is passive accept or active accept? In active acceptance, we allocate what? Contingency reserves. In passive acceptance, we said we will do it once the thing happens. So this is what?
Passive acceptance.
Passive acceptance. Install file-proof components. It has something to do with risk strategy. Is it a strategy?
I think this is active acceptance because we are buying fireproof components which can withstand the fire.
So installing a smoke detector isn't the same thing?
Yeah, it's like a higher cost maybe if we install
But
fire.
it will be very higher cost, right?
Yeah.
If A is not there, B can be the right answer?
Yeah.
You guys agree that if A is not here, B can be the right answer or not? Ganesh says yes. What about you guys? Exactly. If A was not there, B should always be the right answer because you are mitigating, right? You cannot do anything. So at least whatever you do, you can do it. The last question before we sign off. What is the difference between avoiding a threat and mitigating it? We have done enough discussion, so you should answer it quickly. Avoid means to reduce. This is wrong, right? You don't need to read it. You agree with me or not?
Yes.
Avoid doesn't mean reduce. And I told you, if you find a wrong word, please do not read it. Leave it. No need to go further. Avoid means to outsource. Outsource means transfer or share, right? So it cannot be the thing. Correct?
Yes, yes.
It cannot be the answer. Now we have two answers. Change. Avoid means to change the management plan to remove the risk. Avoid means to change the management plan to remove the risk. And mitigate means to reduce the impact or probability. And mitigate means to accept the impact or probability.
Oh,
It's acceptance doesn't happen, right? Acceptance is not the risk. Accept means you are not doing any action.
third one.
Accept means you are not taking any action. So C is the right answer. Convinced? Look how easily we can solve the question. If you find a wrong word in the beginning, no need to read. I don't care what is written. Forget it. That's it. Gone, gone. Enough. You just need to go further. You find next word wrong, go ahead. I don't care what is written. It's not my problem. Can we do it? Okay, we have 1 minute, but let's do it. Engaging with a stakeholder is time intensive during project planning. The sponsor would like to know what all the fuss is about and get an explanation from PM about what is taking so long. PM explain the need for the stakeholder engagement strategy with which of the following statement. To effectively engage a stakeholder in project decisions and executions based on the analysis of their needs, interests, and potential impact. To ensure the stakeholders are receiving the report in the format. It cannot be the right answer, right? B cannot be the right answer. Can be? We do the stakeholder engagement because of the format?
Oh.
No, it cannot be the answer. To effectively place the right people in the correct role to support achieving the project objectives on time within budget. This is for the team, right? Team,
Yes.
or we call C is representing actually what? RACI matrix, right? C is the example of RACI matrix. Yes or no?
Actually, I don't know.
RACI, who is responsible, who is accountable, who is to be consulted, who needs to be informed. To place the right people in the correct role so you can achieve the objectives. So that is what we call it, project resources assignment. And it happens at the time of acquire resources. To be able to document which stakeholder is unaware, neutral, leading, or supportive. For sure, D is not the answer, but what is D? Who can tell me what is D? What you are doing in D?
Engagement plan, basically.
No. Which tool and technique?
This is stakeholder register, I think.
No. Stakeholder register is the document. I'm asking which tool or technique you use.
Engagement.
Stakeholder analysis. We perform a stakeholder analysis to find out who is unaware, neutral, leading, or supportive. Okay. So this cannot be the answer, right? We are not doing a stakeholder analysis. We are doing that we can effectively engage them so we can save ourselves from their potential impact. So A was the best answer, right? Agreed?
Yes.
Yes.
So D is what? Stakeholder analysis. C is what? RACI matrix. What is B?
Communications.
Communication management plan, right?
Plan. Yeah.
Look, if you do the question solving like this, again, I'm repeating the same information. Your results are guaranteed and your learning pace is very high because you will be able to learn 4 things in a single question. Instead of you learn 1 thing in 1 question, you can learn 4 things in 1 question. This is the best style of learning. So we have already crossed 3 minutes, but no problem. We have finished more than, I think, I don't know, 15, 17 questions. Let's keep it a day and let's call it off for today. Inshallah, see you on next Saturday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Same ID and same time. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
I'll see you next week.